Are they a biohazard? What should be done about social loafers or toxic team members? This is the Toxicity's own episode that I promised earlier. One might not be enough. Greetings, I'm Dr. Will, and welcome to Dr. Will's Software Project Leadership channel, where we focus on building real software to solve real problems. If you poke around the internet looking for information about toxic team members, employees, coworkers, supervisors, whatever, you will discover an entire zoo of toxic species. It's a wonder any work ever gets done. Ever. If you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you. Appreciate that. If you'd like more content like this, then subscribe and hit the bell below to be notified when new content becomes available. Have you ever had the displeasure of working with or managing or being managed by a toxic employee? Teams that are afflicted with a toxic member are much more likely to enjoy high levels of conflict and lower levels of communication and productivity. Teams that are afflicted with toxic leadership are almost by definition dysfunctional. It's a credit to our resiliency as a species that such teams actually stumble forward day by day, limping dutifully towards a yawning chasm of despair and defeat. Anyway, so how to spot these noisome creatures in the wild and what to do about them. Labels, of course, never mean anything. That's why we use them all the time. In this case, the toxic label should not be applied to merely difficult individuals like me, but should be reserved for those people whose behaviors contaminate others. It's their impact on others that constitutes team toxicity. How do you know you have a toxic colleague or subordinate or supervisor? You may recognize the toxic colleague on this list. One or more of the following warning signs will tip you off. So the toxic among us consistently are attention whores. It is all and always about them. They insinuate themselves into projects and conversations without invitation and proceed to make the conversation all about them. In short, they're narcissists. Often they are also high achievers, and they are never team-focused. You know that is said there's no I in team. With these guys, there's no team in their I. The toxic among us may take work-related criticism personally. Egoless programming? Nothing they do is egoless. Imagine, if you will, a code review session with somebody who takes personally any criticism, no matter how obviously correct or mildly phrased. They never stop chattering. Gregariousness is fine, and a team needs social interaction beyond merely talking about the job all the time, but there are limits. Folks who spend most of their time chatting up the other team members are that arsenic and old lace of toxicity. They are chronic procrastinators. They don't or won't start a task with enough lead time to finish on time, or they start so late that any unexpected shock prevents them from getting things done, making everybody else wait on them. They always have a ready excuse. This works very well in combination with chronic procrastination. In fact, the chronic procrastinator is probably also a master excuse maker. The best excuse maker always has a plausible excuse at the ready. They are crabby, grumpy, and negative. This is probably the stereotype of a toxic team member. They're like Eeyore. Eeyore, who is described as, quote, a pessimistic, gloomy, depressed, anhedonic, old gray stuffed donkey, who is the friend of the title character, Winnie the Pooh. And finally, they already know everything. They think they're Gottfried Leibniz of the 17th century, who is sometimes referred to as the last, quote, universal genius, close quote. Universal genius is somebody who knows everything of what is known at the time about everything. Well, Leibniz probably wasn't either. Mr. Know-it-all certainly isn't. Note that most of us engage in at least some of these some of the time. Toxicity is directly proportional to consistency. Aristotle said, the unexamined life is not worth living. The obvious question then is whether you, yourself, are consistently engaging in one or more of these behaviors. Do you recognize yourself in that list of toxic species? If so, then you have some work to do. This channel is dedicated to helping software projects succeed, not just in the short term, but in the long. So if you'd like more content like this, then subscribe and hit the bell below to be notified when it becomes available. Also, if you have any questions, complaints, concerns, issues, dreams, aspirations, anyway, just put them in the comment below and be happy to address them later. That's it for me, for you, for now. You have a great day and a great week. Y'all be careful out there. I'll be seeing you. Bye.